Oh boy, take one look at that photo that is on the screen right now and ask yourself what is about to happen. What is about to come across right this very second? Is it someone who is going to speak to you with respect, or someone who's about to give you a lecture? The person on the left, of course. Great still shot there for Christiane Amanpour, who's trying to take James Carville, a guy who told them famously, Democrats at least, it's the economy, stupid. He tried to warn them earlier this year. He tried to tell them, hey, knock this off. He was right. But that's not even good enough for Christine Amanpour and CNN, because she wants to be a preachy female when he warned them about preachy females. Check this out. Pay attention to it. And look at how indignant she is. She's 100% wrong, but because she's a woman, she insists that this guy, hilariously wearing this LSU shirt, who just took a beating. I'm a Gator fan, so I know a little bit about beatings. But he just took this beating, and he's now sitting here listening to this nonsense from this preachy woman. Listen to how she frames this question. He's having none of this.
And there is also an idea that America is still not ready for a female president. But last spring, you said, a suspicion of mine is that there are too many preachy females dominating the culture of the Democratic Party.
The glasses really sell it, that you're not a preachy female, and so does the idea that America is not ready for a woman. Well, I mean, what does this even mean? Who said I'm not voting for her because she's a woman? Do you think that a man with the same terrible non-policies, attitude, personality, and lies would have been voted for? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Her problem was policy. It was economic. Everyone knows it. And here she is talking to a guy who got it right, quoting to him where he got it right, and pretending that somehow he doesn't understand what's going on. And also, it's worth noting here that not only did he get this right, but that's not even the quote. The quote was actually something along the lines of, they're telling us not to eat hamburgers, watch football, and then they're telling us to wear a condom. Like that's the kind of stuff that he said. So she cleaned the text up, but she also gets it completely wrong, and he's not having any of this crap.
Do you stand by that, females?
Look at the face. Do you stand by that? Do you stand by that? Like, do you mean that? Yes, he meant that. He obviously meant it, and he still means it to this day. Why are you asking it this way? Why are you being this way?
Would you look at our male vote? Would somebody just take a look at how we did with males and how we did with non-white males and tell me that the Democrats don't have a messaging problem, that their message comes across as too feminine? I mean, of course I was right when I said that. I don't think there's not a person in the world I've talked to that doubts that I'm right now.
You're talking to one right now. At least she's pretending she doesn't understand, because I think that's what she's supposed to do. That's how you get the whole framing of, maybe the world's not ready for a woman. No, the world's ready for a woman. The world is completely fine with that. It's not about being a woman. It's about being unlikable and scolding, just like you're being, Christiane Amanpour.
Okay, James.
I mean, I say provocative things to get a provocative reaction.
I don't like that he backed down. That was a very bitch-like move. But I still think he was right. And even though he backed down right there to try to kind of be like, okay, look, I'll come around, he's still right. She's still wrong. Everyone knows it. And it's kind of pathetic what she's trying to do here to him when he nailed this.
Yeah.
But are somebody going to really tell me we don't have a problem with male voters?
Well, that's really interesting because
you're telling me something I'm completely unaware of.
No, I'm going to read you the stats. As you know, well, you know the stats. 1 in 3 voters of color voted for Trump. Trump carried Hispanic men by 10 points. Trump improved his support with younger voters compared with 2020. And you're right, he did win the male vote.
Okay, so everything you said is right, but I'm here scolding you for what purpose? Like, what is the reason this whole interaction is taking place, other than she feels like she has to do this because she works for CNN? James Carville should eat her alive, is what he should be doing here, but he's not doing that.
So I just need to understand this, because what do you...
I swear to God, this is like talking to my mom. I mean, it really is. It's like, hey, here's the thing that's obvious. Here's the thing I've told you. You've just repeated back to me the stats, and now you're pretending you don't understand. No, you understand completely. You're the perfect example.
Saying then that Democrats need to do about the so-called gender gap. What should they do?
Get you off television. If you want to do away with the gender gap, get women like this off television who are scolding a guy after telling him oh, you're 100% right on this, and then scolding him about it. Get that person off television.
Well, first thing, they could have done a lot of muscular economic messaging that we didn't do. We could have been for increase the minimum wage to $15 an hour. We could have talked more about raising taxes on incomes above $400,000 and using that money to help young people buy a house. We can certainly shovel the entire identity politics about 50 feet in the ground and bury it. I mean, you can start by doing things like that. You could have got out in front of the crime issue, which, by the way, the crime rate in the United States is down historic amount by 30%. But we were not able to talk about crime because the woke police would not allow that.
And even James Carville's having a problem with this. The guy who speaks his mind regularly is having a hard problem. And he knows exactly what he's dealing with right now. She's the problem. She's the problem. She wants Kamala Harris to win. It's all about women for her. It's all about wokeness for her. She's a member of the media. She's been there forever. She's a legacy media member. And he doesn't want to upset her any further than he already has. So he's soft pedaling it here, but he's laying out all the stuff. It was economic. Why won't you learn that lesson? Your suggestion is like maybe he was too, rough when he explained that telling people not to watch football, not to eat hamburgers, and not to have sex without a condom, and that's somehow a problem. That's what he said. Those were his words, not mine. If you're going to have sex like most people do these days, then you should probably wear a condom.
And one of the great accomplishments of the Biden-Harris administration. So there's a lot of things you can do, and you can change your language around. Don't use coded language, and it's going to take, like I said, it'll take one cycle before we can wash this smell off of our shirt. But I think it'll a good chance that we act correctly. It'll be gone by 26, and it'll be long gone by 28. But please, don't anybody infer to me that we did well with males, because we did not.
I mean, just her face is the perfect example of what the problem is. Look at this smugness here. I mean, it's absolutely off the charts. It's the reason they lost, and they cannot learn from it. And James Carville, because he's an old white guy, they don't want to listen to him. But he's 100% right. How incredibly hilarious and pathetic.